All right, let's just jump right in. What if everything you've ever thought about what it means to be human is just flat out wrong? What if we aren't the end goal of evolution, but instead, we're something like a tightrope walker, balanced over a huge, terrifying drop? Well, that's exactly the kind of gut punch question that Friedrich Nietzsche hits us with in his incredible book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. And trust me, this is way more than just dense philosophy. It's like a challenge to the very core of our being. So, yeah, let's get into it.
So Nietzsche, he doesn't mess around. He has this character, his prophet Zarathustra, who just comes right out and hits you with this question. Man is something that shall be overcome. And listen, this isn't some self-help guru telling you to be a better person. No. He's talking about completely moving beyond what we even think of as human. It's a massive idea. So, what in the world does that actually mean?
Okay, so the first thing we really have to get our heads around is that for Nietzsche, humanity, we're not the main event. We're not the end of the line. Not at all. We're something far more, well, precarious, a dangerous, uncertain transition. And he has this one powerful, almost terrifying image to explain it.
And this one metaphor, it's pretty much the core of the whole book. Seriously, just picture it for a second. Our entire existence is like a tightrope, stretched out. On one side, behind us, that's our animal past, the beast, you know? And way out in front of us, that's this potential future, something so much greater, what Nietzsche famously calls the Übermensch, or the Overman. And what's below us? Just a bottomless abyss. Every single step is a risk. We're always in the middle of this dangerous crossing.
And Zarathustra makes it crystal clear. There is no safe spot on this rope. None. Looking back to what's comfortable and familiar? Dangerous. Freezing up because you're scared? That's deadly. He says the only thing that's great about us, the only thing to really love about being human, is the fact that we're in motion. It's the struggle of the crossing itself. We're a bridge, you see, not a final destination. Which, of course, brings up the biggest question of all. Where is this bridge supposed to be taking us?
And right here, Zarathustra lays it all out. He gives humanity this incredibly stark choice. He says there are only two places we can end up at the end of that tightrope. One is this amazing, magnificent hope for what we could become. And the other? It's a truly horrifying warning about what we might just settle for.
So first, let's talk about the great hope, the Übermensch. This is the one who actually makes it across the rope. The Übermensch isn't someone who just follows the rules or the old moral codes. No way. They become a creator of entirely new values. Their meaning is found right here on this earth, in this life, not in some far-off heaven or afterlife. This is the goal Zarathustra wants us to aim for.
And then, you've got the warning. The last man. This is what happens to us if we get scared on that rope and decide to turn back. It's what we become when we choose comfort instead of greatness. The last man, he doesn't want any risk, no struggle, no real passion. All he wants is to be safe, to be entertained, and to live a long, completely bland life. This isn't just a step back. It's the absolute end of striving, the death of anything that could ever be called great.
And man, when you actually put their words right next to each other, the contrast is just chilling. The last man, he just kind of blinks and says, "We've invented happiness." But it's this tiny, pitiful, comfortable kind of happiness. His whole world has shrunk. He asks, who would still want to rule? Because, ambition is just too much of a hassle. But the Übermensch? A creator, a bridge, firing arrows of longing for the other shore. It's literally the difference between a muddy puddle and a vast ocean. And this right here is what makes the last man so truly terrifying. He's so mediocre, so completely lacking in any kind of ambition that he can't even look at himself with contempt anymore. He's lost the ability to want to overcome himself because he doesn't see anything wrong. There's nothing to overcome in his eyes. It's the ultimate spiritual dead end, just a self-satisfied void.
Okay, so how do you avoid becoming this last man? How do you even begin the journey toward the Übermensch? Well, Zarathustra says the human spirit has to go on this really profound journey of transformation. He breaks it down into 3 incredible stages. He calls them the 3 metamorphoses.
So first, your spirit has to become a camel. Picture it. The camel kneels down and basically says, "Load me up." It takes on all the heaviest burdens, tradition, duty, morality, all of it. Then out in the lonely desert, it transforms. It becomes a lion. The lion's job is to face this great dragon called Thou Shalt, that's every rule and command from the past, and just roar a sacred no. It has to destroy the old values to win its freedom.
But just being free from things isn't the final step. So at last the lion has to become a child. The child is all about innocence, a fresh start. It's a sacred yes, not a yes to old duties, but a yes to its own will, creating brand new values out of pure, joyful play.
And that right there, is the entire point of this whole crazy, difficult journey. It's all about becoming a creator. Because for Nietzsche, freedom isn't just about breaking your chains. That's only half the battle. It's not about being free from something. It's about what you're going to be free for.
See, the creator, the one who's finally become the child, they're not looking for blind followers. They don't want a herd. They're looking for companions, for fellow creators. They're searching for other people who are brave enough to take those old tablets of good and evil, smash them to pieces, and start writing brand new values on new tablets. Values that say yes to this life, right here on this earth.
Okay, so now we get to probably the most famous and most misunderstood line from Nietzsche: God is dead. Zarathustra isn't shouting this from the rooftops in celebration, not at all. He's delivering a diagnosis. He's saying that the central belief system that held up Western morality for centuries has crumbled. It's just not a believable source of values anymore for modern people. And then he adds this devastating twist. He says God died of his pity for man, that the values he gave us made us so weak that they ended up destroying their own source. And yeah, that leaves this massive, terrifying void where meaning used to be. But it also creates this incredible opportunity. For the first time ever, we're totally free to create our own meaning.
But look, if you're going to create your own values, if you're going to be the author of your own meaning, you have to be able to stand by it. You have to be able to affirm your life, the life you've created, 100%. And this brings us to what is maybe Nietzsche's most profound, most challenging, most mind-bending idea. It's a thought experiment called the eternal recurrence. And this is the ultimate test.
So, Zarathustra asks us to picture this. Imagine the present moment, right now, as a gateway. And from this gateway, two lanes stretch out forever. One goes backwards, into the past. The other goes forwards, into the future. Both of them stretch into infinity. Behind us lies an eternity.
But wait a minute, just think about that. If an infinite amount of time has already passed behind us, then wouldn't everything that could possibly happen have to have happened already? Wouldn't this exact gateway, this precise moment you're in right now, wouldn't it have had to have been here before?
And if everything is connected, like knotted together so tightly, doesn't this moment drag the entire future along with it? And if that's true, well, doesn't that mean it also drags itself along, guaranteeing that it will happen again? This is the terrifying logic of the idea. It means every single moment of your life will repeat, exactly as it happened, forever and ever.
And Zarathustra doesn't soften the blow. He puts it this starkly: you will return, not to some new and improved life, but to this same and self-same life. Every joy, every pain, every single mistake, every little triumph, every second of boredom, and every flash of genius. All of it. Over and over and over again. Forever. This is the ultimate test of loving your life.
And so this is where we end. It's where Zarathustra leaves us with this one final personal question. Imagine a demon creeps up to you in your loneliest moment and whispers this idea in your ear. How would you react? With the thought of having to relive every single mistake, every pain, every single regret, would it just crush you? Would you cry out in despair? Or could you love your life, love your own creation so completely that you would see this not as a curse but as a blessing, that you'd shout, yes, do it again? Nietzsche called this the heaviest weight. And how you answer that question, well, it reveals everything about which path you're on. The path to the Übermensch or the path to the last man.